This is a very proud Alt 92.3. My name is Brady, in studio with everybody here, family.
Nice choice, Brady. Good choice with the song. Good move.
We're about to wrap things up here, and I got to tell you, this has been just an incredible morning. I mean, all of us just sharing stories, you know, and people texting in, sharing their stories, and how this station affected them, and the music that we played, and they discovered from us. I mean, we were there for them, and nothing is more rewarding than that. You know, we were there. We were the escape. We were Alt 92.3, and it's awesome to be a part of this.
Yeah, I mean, look, I still remember the first day that I came on air as midday host. Same day as Mike Kaplan, our boss is in the corner. Mike is here.
May the 7th.
May 7th, 2018, and somebody recorded it. We have a lot of great radio historians that work in this incredible building. David Plotkin, he's right there. He's filming right now, the historian. But, you know, somebody recorded my first break, and you can hear the terror in my voice. Just like, oh my God, I'm on air in New York, and somebody let me do this. And it was truly such an honor and a privilege to be your midday host for 4 years. And what challenging years we experienced over the lifetime of this radio station too. And I know some of the most moving texts I've seen come through at 55701. We're still going to read them after the switch happens, but have been about how during the pandemic, the fact that so much was uncertain, so much changed, but we were there for people. We were consistent. We were that voice. We were that thing you could say, all right, well, everything else going to hell. But the people on the other side of the radio are playing the songs, and they're in the same experience that we are. That's what I love about radio, is that collective kind of experience that we're all having at the same time, good and bad. You know, we've gotten through a lot together. We've had unbelievable memories, live music memories, the not-so-silent nights, the summer opens, the Alt 92.3 free shows, you know, even our little tiny performance space downstairs where we saw so many great bands weave together. And when I say together, I mean you, the listener on the other end of this speaker. We've done this together.
Yeah.
It's been really, it's been an honor. It's a great group of people, hardworking, you know, New York proud, New York tough, the whole thing, you know. So it's been an honor.
That's right. That's right. Kevin, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there.
Yeah.
Morning, Kevin.
How was that couch?
Welcome back.
Kevin Kenny,
Good.
ladies and
Taking
gentlemen.
it with you?
Dude, I would love to. No, I've slept way too many nights on that couch. But you and I were here till like 3 a.m. last night.
Yeah,
Brady.
man. We were just talking it up and everything. You were eating your pizza that looked pretty gross.
Well, I didn't even know you were here at first. I'm glad I didn't get in, like my underwear. And then like 2 o'clock in the morning, this guy rolls out of the studio. I go, thank God I'm not doing anything weird.
Yeah.
Except
I
for
was
eating pizza on the middle of the guy. That's it.
Exactly. No, but we had a nice little chat there, and it was special. And you were here last night too. That was nice. We had a bunch of label people by.
Yeah, it was really cool hearing the stories of you know, them bringing their artists in and stuff, because you know they were the ones that brought you the music.
Yeah.
You know, and so that was really cool to hear all that. And your last song, Goodbye Elizabeth, was so good.
Yeah.
Perfect
Counting
choice.
Crows. Beautiful. Actually, funny, we were like one of the last live broadcasts during the pandemic, like going into the pandemic. And I remember we were here till they kicked us out, and we went out on a Counting Crows song around here. So it was a nice little book ending that happened at the end of the show.
Well, and you know, listening to you, Kevin, last night, like you're Jersey, man. Like
Totally.
you're a kid who grew up in Jersey. What shout out.
Hohokus, New Jersey. I got it tatted on the arm right there, so I never forget it.
Every time I drive past the exit for Hohokus, I think
It's a
of
real
you,
place.
Kevin
It sounds like
Kenny.
a Halloween movie, but it's actually a town.
But like you got to live a dream of yours.
It really was. And honestly, and I'm not just saying this, it's like one of my earliest memories is this frequency, because in the 90s, my mom turned me on to 92.3. She was the biggest Howard Stern fan there was. And a cool, really quick story I just got to tell really quick here as we close out is that she managed a bookstore, Brentano's in Manhattan in the mid 1990s, and Howard wrote a book. And so she was like his handler the day, and it was like her dream come true to meet this guy because of 92.3. So the next day we're driving like preschool, and I'm listening to Howard with my mother, and he starts talking about her, and she's freaking out. This is like a dream come true. You got to imagine, right? He's the biggest thing ever. 92.3, the biggest thing ever. And she's ecstatic and she's overjoyed. And then he refers to her as an older woman.
Oh!
And she starts shouting on like Kinderkamak Road. If anybody's listening in northern Jersey, we're driving on Kinderkamak Road. She starts screaming at the radio, "Older woman, I'm younger than you, Howard!" And it was, and my mom's an old petty Irish woman in New Jersey. It's 25 years later, and she's still talking about the story. So Howard, if you are listening, if any of these people are listening, you owe my mother an apology, buddy. Okay?
Howard, who started this frequency, basically, right? I mean, you know, my first, I was listening to him his first day in Philly in 1986, and talked about masturbation for 45 minutes straight. And
As he should.
And I was like, what am I doing? Listen to this. But I realized I was listening the entire 45 minutes. But no, what an iconic guy that started this, and the guys at Kingston and everybody else has been part of that, the Weatherly all through the years here. Amazing. And now we got to hit this last song. We got to hit it. Kevin, why don't you kind of give this rundown of LCD Sound System saying goodbye?
Yeah, this is a beautiful song, and of course, a New York and a tri-state area band, and an iconic one at that. I think they're doing a ton of shows at Brooklyn Steel. There's the last plug we'll throw out there for a live show. And this is a beautiful song. It's a tough city to be from. It's a tough city to make it in. It's not always perfect, but we're not always perfect. And through the highs and lows, New York is there for us as we've been there for New York. And I think we all agree this is a great song to go out on and say goodbye.
Love you all.
New York, I love you, but you're bringing me down.
We may be changing, but we're not gone for good. Don't miss a minute of the next chapter of Alt 92.3. Download the free Odyssey app and follow us to keep listening to the alternative music you love on Alt 92.3.
WINS News Time, 8:50. Good morning, it's Susan Richard. If you've been tuning in over the last couple of weeks, you've heard us talking about a new era in New York radio. Well, that time has come. All News All the Time is now being simulcast on 92.3 FM. The formal launch is at 9 o'clock, but we've snuck on a little early to get ready. Of course, 92.3 has its own incredible history in the city, so see if you remember some of these iconic sounds.
For 92 KTU, how do you like that, huh? Was it nice? Of course it was nice.
92, 3.
Hey!
Wanna rock? We deliver. J-Rock. It's the all-new 92.3 Free FM. Now.
More choices.
New York City, make some noise. New York's new hit music.
Let's go. The hits don't stop. 92.3 Amp Radio.
Amp Radio.
Alt 92.3. Alt 92.3.
Well, for those of you listening to Alt right now, welcome to the 1010 WINS family. So, how did we get here? Joining me right here in the studio is our market president, Chris Olivero, a product of Brooklyn. And did I hear this right, Chris? You were once an intern on the Howard Stern Show on K-Rock?
You heard that right, but that was a very long time ago. I think it was the first Giuliani administration. Product of Brooklyn, and which kid from Brooklyn of a certain generation didn't grow up listening to WINS, waiting for that holy grail of news reports, the school closings on snow days. Right. So yes, you could say I have a connection both to 92.3 and 1010 WINS.
Awesome. You've come a long way, baby.
Yeah.
This is a very exciting day here at 1010 WINS. Let's start with the obvious question. Why put 1010 WINS on the FM?
Yeah, no, Susan, I've been asked a lot of people for this question. So the first thing I would say is when you have a brand like WINS that is such a powerhouse brand, it's got to get maximum distribution. And that's what we did today. So when you marry 92.3 to 1010 WINS AM, which is not going away. If anybody thought that signal was going away, it's not. Plus, you could stream it anytime, live on the Odyssey app. Those three things together gives WINS the maximum audio distribution that it deserves. It also gives us a second thing today, which is rare. Today, in the media world, it's very noisy and crowded, gives us a chance to introduce WINS to a whole new audience and even reintroduce WINS to maybe a portion of the audience that has gone away over the years. So if you're new or old, we simply say welcome to 1010 WINS at 92.3.
You know what's amazing to me is how 1010 WINS has evolved over the years. And we have people who've been here a very long time. I'm in my 24th year here at WINS. In many ways, we are not the same station that we were when we launched the format back in 1965, and yet we're exactly the same station, right? With a 24/7 mission to serve the greater New York area with a special focus on the 5 boroughs of New York City.
You know, that's a great way to say it, because you look at WINS, two of the hallmarks of WINS are being consistent and being familiar. And that's also probably a hallmark of a great news organization. So that's not changed. A lot has changed around us if you think about it. You know, I used to call it the Battery Tunnel. Now we have to call it the Hugh Carey Tunnel. Right. You know, reporters used to run around town chasing a story. They could drop a token to get into the subway. Now pretty soon they're not even going to be able to use a Metro card. So things have changed. Technology has changed. We're responding to that. That's one of the reasons WINS is now on FM. But what has not changed, to I think the point of your question is the mission of WINS today in 2022 is the same as it was in 1965, which is to be the go-to trusted source for news, traffic, and weather in New York City.
That's right. And whether we're reporting on a horrible hurricane or, the Halloween dog parade, we're still the same radio station, and we give you the news that is important to you, So, true story. On 10-10 Day, October 10th, as we call it, folks were giving you heat for not getting us station swag, and you had the best comeback of all time.
Yeah, so 10-10 is a holiday around here created by previous general managers, and used to get gifts on 10-10 days. It's been come to my attention that I fell in that responsibility the last couple of years. I didn't give enough swag out on 10-10. So I came into the newsroom and said, you're right, I'm going to give you an FM. Here's the thing. You can't take the gift home with you, though. It needs to stay on top of the Empire State Building.
That's right. You wanted a T-shirt? I got you an FM station. There you go. Best gift ever. Thank you so much, Chris. Okay, from a market president to an international celebrity who also calls the city his home.
Dear Mr. Hamilton, your fellow Federalists would like to know how you'll be voting. History has its eyes on you.
This morning marks an historic day in history, and joining us for the big moment, a quintessential New Yorker, Lin-Manuel Miranda. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Susan. Thanks for having me.
Totally true. We did not ask anyone else to be here for this morning. And aside from your celebrity, of course, it's in part because you really epitomize the New York story. Parents from Puerto Rico, born and raised in New York. What does it mean to you to be a New Yorker? Would there be a Lin-Manuel without Inwood?
Well, yeah, there would be, but he would be very different. And, to me, the 10-10 WINS logo is sort of synonymous with waking up in the morning. That was the alarm sound my parents would wake up to on their AM radio dial. So it's quintessentially the sound of New York, just like the sound of, a subway leaving a station. 10-10 WINS is just part of the soundscape of my childhood and my life in New York City. That's where you start your day.
I'm reminded of the song in Hamilton, Who Tells Your Story? Because we've got 8 million stories in the big city, right? And that's what we do. We tell those stories every day. So any memories of listening to 10-10 WINS?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. It's really etched into my childhood. And again, I lived in Upper Manhattan, but I went to school on the Upper East Side. So what I associate with it is my parents driving in the car and waiting for that traffic moment to decide, are we going down the FDR or are we going down the Henry Hudson Parkway, and waiting for 10-10 WINS to weigh and tell us where the traffic was heaviest so that we could, improvise accordingly. So that's very much etched in my brain.
Congratulations, by the way, on Hamilton being performed in Germany in German. How awesome is that?
Yeah, well, I mean, the Hamburg production of Hamilton was really quite surreal. It's all of you have had this experience, but it was my first time seeing Hamilton and not knowing the words. And it was when that happens, the joy is in seeing the incredible work your collaborators have done, the incredible choreography, this incredible cast. So that was really pretty incredible.
So you've traveled all over the country and all over the world with your projects, but there's no place like New York, would you say?
Yeah, well, listen, you're talking to a very biased interview subject. I live in the same neighborhood I grew up with. I married someone who grew up in my neighborhood, and we're raising our kids in the neighborhood we grew up with. So yeah, we wouldn't trade New York for the world.
You come here and within 1 year, you're a New Yorker. It's so true, right?
Yeah, I always say the measure of a real New Yorker is when you walk into your local bodega or deli and they just start working on your order when you walk in. You have to really earn that status.
Lin-Manuel Miranda, thank you so much for being with us on this historic day. It's almost that time. So how about counting us down?
Sure. It's an honor to be the one to throw the virtual switch and kick off a new era in news in New York. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10-10 WINS is now on 92.3 FM.
Heading up the Canyon of Heroes.
New York City.
Hear the roar of this crowd.
A city like no other.
Happy 125th birthday, Statue of Liberty.
A city with swagger.
It's a great day to be an American. It's a great day to be a New Yorker. At the core of the Big Apple is heart, and we all feel it here today.
We've cheered together.
Yankees win. The Yankees
and shed our share of tears.
Massive efforts were undertaken to try to bring John Lennon back to life. Debris from the TWA flight, a sneaker floating upside down, a seat cushion.
We've been through a lot together.
The city of New York is still without power. The first can of gas has gone off, the second one, the third. Police have captured a man whom they believe to be the son of Sam.
The massive superstorm is not far away.
Our resilience is unbreakable.
I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. And the people who knocked these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
Never giving up.
We've had a miracle on 34th Street. I believe now we've had a miracle in the Hudson.
Today, history is being made once again as 1010 Wins can now be heard at 92.3 FM.
Juliet Papa, 1010 Wins, reporting live from the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Glenn Shuck, 1010 Wins here in Lower Manhattan.
Carol Diori at 1010 Wins on 135th Street in Harlem.
Samantha Liebman, 1010 Wins in Prospect Heights.
Roger Stern, 1010 Wins in the Bronx.
Eileen LaPalmer, 1010 Wins News.
New York and the Tri-State have a new home for all news all the time. 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. It's about time.
WINS FM and HD1 New York.
Hi, I'm Ed Sheeran, and 1010 Wins can now be heard on 92.3 FM.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins, New York.
Good morning, 57 degrees, 9 o'clock Thursday, October 27th. I'm Lee Harris. Here's what's happening. As the City Council tries to come up with a rat action plan, our Eileen LaPalmer goes out on rat patrol this morning to see what needs to be done. Private security guards in the subway are apparently proving effective against fare evaders. New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez under a federal investigation again. Laura Kavanaugh will reportedly be sworn in today as the city's first female fire commissioner. And 1010 Wins is now also broadcasting on FM in crystal clear audio at 92.3. Sports, the Islanders beat the Rangers. The Knicks won. The Nets lost. 1010 Wins AccuWeather. Mostly sunny, breezy at times today. High 65. Wins News Time, 9:01. Now traffic and transit on the ones in crystal clear audio. Here's Karen Stewart.
Let's kick it off by taking a look at what we see on Long Island's Big Three. Westbound Northern State travelers at exit 27, Shelter Rock Road, North Hempstead. Somebody broke down in the de-acceleration lane. That's causing delays. And then the westbound Southern State Parkway at exit 18 for Eagle Avenue in Hempstead. We have an accident on the right. So how's the LIE doing? It looks pretty fab. We've got some delays around the Seafood Oyster Bay Expressway and 39. But honestly, in Nassau County, that's it. Then we're going to be heavy trying to get around to the Cross Island Parkway and the Clearview. And then once you hit 188th Street, it's going to be jammed from there out into Woodhaven Boulevard. And the delay to the Queens Midtown Tunnel is going to start at 48th Street in Maspeth. And that's a bumper-to-bumper ride as well. Oh, did I say Queens Midtown Tunnel? Well, let's check what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels on the other side of the world, the Hudson River. Over 40 minutes inbound GW Bridges upper. It's about 35, 40 for the lower with an accident by the toll plaza in the center. The Lincoln is 40. The Holland is 45 minutes. And the PATH trains have delays Journal Square to 33rd and Hoboken to World Trade, while alternate side parking is in effect for today. Traffic and transit every 10 minutes on the ones and breaking traffic alerts whenever they happen. I'm Karen Stewart on 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Maybe you just want to impress the in-laws. Perhaps you just want a new ride for your winter travels. Whatever your adventure, during Jeep Adventure Days at Ramsey, custom pre-order your new Jeep and have it in time for the holiday winter fun. Ramsey Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Exceptional people, exceptional deals.
The rats of New York City have an action plan, multiply and infest the city. Now, the City Council is coming up with its own rat action plan, which is very much the opposite of the rats plan. Our Eileen LaPalmer is out this morning on Rat Patrol. It's a story you'll only hear on 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
That is the sound of an exterminator kicking a rat bait station outside of a home